Everyone has a story, but not every story was told. Here in the Untold, we meet a variety of people with a variety of talents. I am your host, Marzouk Saeed, and joined by my dear colleague.
And I'm Abdullah Al-Hindiani, and thank you for that lovely introduction, Marzouk. And you're right, on The Untold, we have a knack for bringing guests who have extraordinary stories, right? They have
Exactly.
journeys from all sorts of fields.
Yes, and today our field or the guest that we have, her name is Fatema AlAwadhi. She's a tennis coach, and her field is kind of different because I don't think we ever had like a tennis coach in our show.
Yeah, and honestly, I think for a lot of people, me included, obviously we know what tennis is, right? We know what the Wimbledon is. We know Rafael Nadal, who that guy is. But outside of that, we don't really know a lot of the intricacies of the sport, right? Especially when it comes to localization of it, playing tennis in Kuwait. So Fatma is just gonna help us go through all of those.
Of course, from a conversation in the studio to the conversation in the court. So stay tuned if you love to know more about tennis. Welcome back, our dear viewers. A lot of you might in summer would like to try and play tennis, but they don't know where to start. That's why we bring you one of the most distinguished coaches with us in tennis, Fatema Al-Awadhi. Welcome to the show, Fatema.
Thank you.
How you
Uh,
doing today?
I'm good,
Doing
alhamdulillah.
good?
Yes.
So, Fatema, when did playing tennis started with you?
Actually, I started tennis 25 years ago.
Okay.
When I
So,
was,
like an early age.
yeah, very early age, like
Nice.
when I was 11 years. And later then I fell in love with the rhythm of the game, how people play with a lot of control and power. It seems for me like a dance on the court. So it was really beautiful. Yeah.
Very nice. So, you started like an early age. Like, was there like support from maybe family members, brother, father, maybe like your mother?
Yes, the whole family
The whole family.
supported the story of playing tennis, and sometimes I used to go walking if I don't have my driver
Okay.
from my house to the club. It was like we were living in Kefan, and the club was in Khaldiya. So if I don't find my driver, I always go
Well,
by
So,
walking.
cardio until you come, you already warm up, and then you
Yes,
jump into the game.
yeah.
and so have you tried different sports before you got into tennis, or was it like, I tried it and I immediately fell in love with it?
No, I tried different sports. I used to swim and I do horse riding also, horse jumping and hockey. I'm a hockey player. I used to be also on the national team hockey player.
Inshallah, you are multi-talented.
I play sports. I like sports. Yeah. So I tried different things, but I stick to tennis. It's like what my heart wants.
Even with the trend for which was the game that mixed between squash and tennis.
Pardon?
The paddle.
Yeah, when it
Yeah.
come up, like were you also like drawn into
I
it?
tried it twice, but it didn't fit me. Yeah.
It didn't
I
fit
didn't feel
your
myself.
liking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
for a lot of people that didn't like paddle because they say it's the lazy version of tennis.
I don't know. Truly, I don't know.
Yeah.
And talking about
I
like,
wouldn't say anything about it, so people won't.
she has some friends who play paddle. She don't want to
Yeah.
lose them.
Well, I said that.
So following up like with your career in tennis, was it like hard or like easy to follow in Kuwait?
Okay, so actually in Kuwait, you can't find any certification here. I had an advantage to live in the United States for more than 10 years. So I got some certifications over there, around like 6 to 5 certifications. And then I also taught over there for 3 years under supervision of very good coaches and some of the very good courts in Boston and MIT.
Okay.
Yeah, so that makes things easier for me. Yeah.
Like the process of earning like such certificate, I think it could be challenging sometimes. Or
Yeah.
what do you think, Abdullah?
Yeah, so I think for a lot of people, especially those who play sport casually, they don't realize that to have a certificate in it, to be accredited in it, you have to know all the rules about it, right? You have to know all the little and small details about it, and you have to really know the sport in and out of it.
Exactly, especially if you want to be a professional coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going back to your question, I did face a lot of challenges actually because in Kuwait we usually have private. So when I started as a kid, I played in the club for a few years and then I had to do everything by myself and take private coaching when I started to grow up because they only teach kids and for tennis. And then when I went to go to take my certification, I went through a very intensive short period of training to get my skills ready for the test.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a challenging part for me.
But mashallah, you've done it and you have earned like plenty of
Yeah,
certification.
alhamdulillah.
Congratulations.
And
Thank you.
so did training and studying to get the certificate, did that help you as a coach now?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had a broader vision of what I could become as a coach here, and also I went through a very high standard and level of coaching in the United States, so it really gave me a good background of what how to deal with different abilities, players, how to communicate, adapt to different challenges. Yeah, I think a lot.
So what is like coaching session in Kuwait? Like take us to the day-to-day skills or basis that you do with your clients.
Okay, so basically, a tennis lesson would be like I have three different levels. Like we have beginners, intermediate, and advanced, and every session is unique, but they all have the same like form or standard. You start with like a warm up, and then you go to something called a skill development or technique correction, and then you go to some of point play or games, and then you do a wrap up or a cool down. This is basically how a tennis session.
Point play, you means like they're gonna play with another
They
partner?
play against each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be sitting like analyzing each individual, their
Yeah,
skills, their talent.
Yeah, I just do the guidance. Like I stand and feed the ball and let them play and guide them through the way.
And
Yeah.
do you see tennis as a coach? Is it a sport that for newcomers, is it easy to get a grip on, or do they have some kind of trouble, adapting to it?
Truly, tennis is not that easy. So a lot of players, when they start, they come to 2 to 3 sessions and then they might give up. But if they like the sport, because it needs a lot of coordination,
Yeah.
eye-hand coordination. So regarding your question about is it easy or not, it's not that easy. But if they love it, they're gonna stick to it and they're gonna come back to the practice.
And how do you like sometimes coach, like they play a huge role in motivating the client to stay and continue the program. So for those who want to continue but they might be bored or they might find it hard, is there like some techniques that you use or some motivational way to make them sure they continue the journey?
For me, having joined in the court is number one. So alhamdulillah, I've never heard the people who are bored in my court.
Yeah.
So I usually come with
It's
a big
hard
intention.
to get bored at sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only 1 hour and there's a lot of things to do. It's just they ask the questions, Coach, can we play the game or are we able, will be able to continue and play at a good level? And my question is that we should all wait and see. You can't tell in 2 weeks or a month. Let's give a period of 3 to 6 months and then we can decide.
Because I think for a lot of new students, they can have some kind of shock moment when if they're playing with their friends and cousins, and then they go to a place where they're trying to mimic a professional setting. They're like, oh, this is so hard.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, you just stick with it, and eventually it's all about muscle memory.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Everything's gonna open
Yeah.
at one point. Yeah.
Did you reach a level where you wanted like to participate in competitions and a global, maybe like locally or globally?
Actually, we played in the Kuwait national team for 2 years and a half. They did a women team, and they chose the best 4 players, and I.
You were among them?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Them, alhamdulillah. And we played for 2.5 years in Rafa Nadal Academy. And then when the paddle industry came, the girls turned to paddle. Yeah. And
so you were the only one who's loyal,
me and one of my friends. Yeah, me and one of my friends. So they stopped the national team. Yeah. I did participate. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that the good news is that paddle's kind of dead now in Kuwait, right? Everyone's back to tennis.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Not yet.
And I think we've mentioned briefly about the challenges you've had as a player, but I do want to ask you about the challenges as a coach,
Mhm.
especially in, transitioning from being and studying coaching back in the United States to coming here and being a coach in Kuwait.
Actually, one of the biggest challenges that I remember is that I have to carry my gear on from one court to another because I didn't have a place to settle myself in.
Oh,
Yeah, so this was one of my biggest challenges. But later on, when I started to find other solutions and to have a fixed place, things become much easier for me.
Sometimes, like, when you play like in the States, like the weather's kind of nice. You
Mhm.
can play like in open field, but here was like a space kind of challenge for you as well.
Yeah, in summer we face a lot. Yeah. Yeah, like now in summer. We're now in summer, so it's really hot. It's very challenging for
so
me.
do the practice time is lowered, or
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
stay
yeah, yeah.
indoor in the courts?
I cut my work to like 3 hours down,
Oh,
and then I just do two or three maximum. Yeah, and the late night. Yeah.
but we do we have a lot, because I don't know a lot about tennis in Kuwait. Do we have a lot of indoor courts or? Oh,
No?
We don't. Yeah.
oh,
We
okay.
only have two and one in the Rafa Nadal Academy, but you have to be a member there to use the court.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how are you balancing between like the limitations of indoor court with also like trying to teach or coach different players?
I don't go to indoor courts. Yeah, so there's an option to go to an indoor court, but it's always occupied.
Like you said, and it's
Yeah.
only for members for the Rafael
Yeah.
Academy.
So I have to stick to my outdoor courts in summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another thing.
And speaking of your experience as a coach, what do you enjoy the most about being a coach to new players, and especially to, girls?
Um, I think young girls are very curious and eager to learn. They always ask questions, ask about their growth, what's gonna do next, what's gonna happen the next session. So their energy is very motivated in the
Like they're
court.
always asking for feedback, evaluation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
before you go like to the court, I remember back in the days I used to play basketball in one of the club in Kuwait. Okay, so before I go to the club, one of the rituals that I make sure is like to have a good solid meal,
Yeah.
and also like to do some warm up at home. So when I go there, I be ready.
Mhm.
So what are some rituals for you that you do before you go to the coaching session or before you go like to play in general?
Actually, my ritual starts after my coaching sessions.
After
Usually,
your coaching
usually after I finish my lesson,
okay,
I go run
you go run.
for an hour. Yeah, I do my runs.
I mean, mashallah, because you've already did a lot of movement while
Yeah,
you're coaching, and then you still have
I'm
a
a full
lot.
marathon
Yeah,
runner. I did the
mashallah.
42
So you
kilometers.
also like participate in marathons, like
Yeah,
very
I
nice.
participated in a lot of marathons. Yeah.
And how do you think like having different sports can help in tennis growth or like in your progress?
I mean, it becomes a part of like it's a part of my nature. I like to move. I don't like sitting.
Yeah.
So, and I think all the girls now are like having this mentality. Like you can see that the girls are empowering themselves by moving, by being very active, eating healthy, and this is part of their confidence, self-care, and growth.
Yeah, yeah, and I
Yeah.
think, mashallah, we've seen a lot of activity from girls, like you said, because I know there are also marches and you mentioned marathon. We've had marathons, all sport-related kind of movements that are indoors and advocated by for women and by
Mhm.
women.
And even like outdoors, even though like sometimes the weather could be very hot or humid, we still see people like in the
Yeah.
Yeah,
beach, or like nearby like the seaside.
True.
They are walking, they are
yeah.
cycling.
I
True.
mean that's why men are falling by the pieces with heart attacks, and women continue to age, right? That's
I've
part of
never
the
heard
reason.
that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Yeah, they are more active.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coaches
Just,
by Fatma
I'm
Al.
gonna go check in ChatGPT.
Yeah. And but on that note, we do have to take a quick break and we'll come right back.
All right.
Hello again, our dear viewers. We're still continuing our interesting conversation with an interesting guest, Fatema AlAwadhi. Welcome again.
Thank you, Marzouk.
So, Coach Fatma, during your career in coaching, was there a moment where you felt super proud? And what was that moment?
Oh, um, I have a lot of moments that I felt super proud. Uh, but that's related to the activities that I did, the volunteering activities that I did to the disabilities
Okay,
people like the Down syndrome. I did also an event for the wheelchair and also for the deaf and mute people with speech and hearing challenges.
mashallah.
And they tried the tennis experience. So it touches me very deeply in a different level. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
what to say, yeah. But those are the most proud moments I have.
Actually, we also like proud of you for like including all the people like in our society, you
yeah,
know? That's really amazing job, and I think not easy to do or also like to look at.
yeah. You were teaching them tennis, right? Or
Yeah,
playing?
we
Yeah,
gave them the experience of tennis. We did a whole event, a full day event for them.
yeah.
Each category had a day with different
And from where
activities,
like you
volunteers.
came up with the idea, and what was like the process?
I like volunteering activities, like, and I have a very good like all my players like to volunteer. Like maybe 30, 40 people. Every time I do an event, such an event, I receive like more than 50 to 60 volunteers who
MashaAllah.
want, and what I can take is maximum
Shout
30
out to all
volunteers.
the volunteers who really our commitment, having like this dedication towards other players, and
Yeah,
also trying to include this beautiful image into tennis as well.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, honestly, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of,
Mhm,
passion because I did volunteer once with a disability group
mhm.
and it's a lot of work, so props and, amazing congratulations and a lot of words that I can't even find for people who actively volunteer again and again and again because it's a lot of work. And I want to go back to your role as a coach. And I'm talking about you've had so many proud moments, but do you remember like maybe a student came, they were not good enough, they were, doubtful of themselves, and then you turned them around? I want to ask, how did that process come along?
Okay, I had some students that, mashallah, started tennis like just in a month. They started to play with people who have been playing for 2 years. Yeah,
Okay, he started in a
exactly.
month, and they were
In a
playing
month,
for
like.
2 months,
Uh,
for 2 years.
yeah, and other players who. So in tennis, there's no rules. Like, it's what I can see from you. You just jump to the second level. It's not like when you do a push up and then you
Yeah.
have to gradually accelerate. No, it's just what skills I can see in the court. You just jump to the second level.
And
Yeah.
what are some skills if you see them, you're gonna be like, hey, he's like really talented, or hey, he's like different from the others? Because one time I remember like I was watching a show,
Hmm.
and they were like a surfer, like a surfer sport where
Hmm.
they like surf on the waves
Yeah.
on the beach. And the person, he was like a champion who was like in the interview,
Hmm.
and he mentioned that when he joined from the first week, he was able to ride the
Yeah.
surface,
Oh,
while the
Yeah.
people with him, they were like there for 2 months, and
Hmm.
they were like surprised how he
Yeah.
was able to do it in 1 week.
yeah.
Yeah. You can notice it from the coordination.
I think the
Uh,
thing, because I know it's in boxing, coaches look for something called hand to eye coordination.
yeah, and eye
Yeah, is that the
coordination.
same thing?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is the same thing. I think it's a major thing in all sports. Yeah, and the control. How do they take care of the ball? How do they treat the ball? How do they understand the ball? Yeah,
Yeah.
their feelings toward the ball. All of those things count.
So when you see someone talented, what are the next stage you take? Because it's like a valuable gem, like in
Hmm.
your treasure box.
Yeah, I always do a good compliment and want to speed the growth as much as possible. Yeah.
And I know, like, for a lot of people who saw Rocky movies, they remember one line about boxing is that,
Mhm.
no matter how many times you get knocked down, it's all about going back up.
True.
So, what life lessons can we take from tennis, especially in your role as a coaching?
Okay, so I think a very good lesson is that you're gonna have a bouncy character, exactly like how the ball bounces in the court.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a very flexible personality, with ups and downs. You're okay. So you're gonna feel you can go back on track very quickly. Tennis teaches you how to be very resilient, focused, and you adapt to changes. Very adaptive to changes. So I would say that tennis is therapy. For me, it's a therapy.
Yeah,
It's even much cheaper than a therapy and way more stylish.
it is way more
That's
stylish.
really
Yeah.
awesome. And for those who are watching who think like tennis is just or merely a game, I know you mentioned some skills, life lessons you can learn about. So how can you like maybe motivate them to join tennis?
Um, Truly, I don't motivate others to join tennis, but I always want them to try. Just try.
Okay.
And then you can say, yeah. And mostly I can't remember someone who tried tennis and just stopped immediately. I told you guys they will stop after at least like 3 to 4 months when they see themselves they can't like follow up
Yeah.
with the control coordination, then they decide to go to another sport. But in terms of joy and fun, no, I think people really enjoy
It's
the
very, I mean, like you
the game.
said, the tennis, if you tried, it's very fun because while I haven't played tennis, because honestly, I don't know anyone in my circle of friends who do, so I can't really go. But we played, is it called badminton? Risha?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Badminton,
badminton,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We did play badminton, which is like, the smaller version of tennis,
Or the lighter version.
the lighter version of tennis. And it was so fun, the amount of times and the amount of work you put into it is nothing, short of amazing. And it takes a lot of is it cardio? Or a lot of
Endurance.
endurance.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of endurance to go at it. So I can't imagine that for tennis.
I think tennis is the hardest between all
Yeah.
racket sports because it's the biggest space, the weight of the racket and the ball is the largest size. So, and mostly people who play tennis can play all of the other racket sports. Yeah,
The fast pace that it demands
yeah,
to react to the ball.
exactly.
In any sport, when you first start, there's like some challenges, and also like sometimes you fall. It depends on the personality or like maybe the mentality that you have. That's gonna create a huge change because everyone can be capable of being like a hero in the game or being like the best, but the hero he always view falls like differently.
Yeah.
So when you fall in your steps or maybe like in some areas, how do you bounce back? At what are some mentality that you practice during that time?
I put clear intentions of really what I
Clear
want.
intentions.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yes, I have intentions like if I want to go now, let's say an example, I'm going now in the heat and
Okay.
it's hot.
Yeah.
I'd rather stay at home,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Same here.
Yeah, but I would still go, and I put clear intentions. I wanna. The girls are coming. We're gonna make the best out of the lesson. It's also gonna be fun. يعني the heat's gonna hit us, but we still can have fun and enjoy it, and we're gonna move actually. And moving is gonna give us very good energy at the end. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
my intentions.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
Makes sense.
overestimate the heat in Kuwait. I mean, we've had our summer has been over 50 degrees for nearly 10 years now. So we kind of got used to
Yeah.
it. It's not an excuse
We're
anymore.
still
Yeah.
surviving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still surviving
Yeah.
and it's still fun, like you
Yeah.
said.
Okay, so you mentioned clear intentions. What else?
The smiles that I will see in the faces of my
The
players.
reflection of the
Yeah.
people.
The smiles that I see, like everybody goes out of the court like saying thank you coach, we had fun, it was great, alhamdulillah we came, we didn't say it's hot.
Yeah.
Like I receive all of those
And during
compliments.
like the age groups, are you focusing on one age group or you have like variety? Because you mentioned like you have different levels, but when it comes to age, do you have also like different levels of
Yeah,
age?
different ages, true.
Started from
Usually nowadays they in 2025 they teach kids starting from 2.5 years.
2.5
Yeah,
years?
but we don't have this in
Really?
Kuwait. Yeah, 2.5 years. Yeah,
Wow, I never imagined
yeah,
2.5 years.
yeah. No one's imagined.
Yeah, and I think because we're reaching the end of our runtime, I do want to leave you with one question. Is that for you personally, as a coach, what is the next goal?
The next goal as a coach, I'm planning. So usually every year, alhamdulillah, like last year, I go to some ITF conferences, like to keep up with the updates in tennis, and inshallah, I'm willing to take more certifications, higher teachings in the ITF level 2 and 3. Also, inshallah, maybe one day I'm gonna open a girls' tennis academy.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Inshallah.
inshallah. Okay, I hear you, all the parents that you are talking behind the scene. Summer break is approaching, and they
Yeah.
want to enroll their children or their kids. What is the best way they can reach?
Through Instagram.
Yeah,
I
Through
have
Instagram.
my number and everything. It's tennis.kw.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
here you have it. It was really awesome to have this conversation with you and to see the future of tennis and all the achievements that you have done, the coaching, the journey, the stories behind it. Thank you so much, Coach Fatema AlAwadhi, tennis coach, for being with us in the show.
Thank you, Marzouk, and thank you, Abdullah, for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was really wonderful. And I think you're the first tennis coach we've had on the Untold. So it was really eye-opening and enlightening. So thank you for this wonderful
Thank you.
interview.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll come right back. You know, unfortunately, that was all of the time we've had on The Untold. This was a very lovely episode, though.
Yeah, I enjoy the passion and the dedication that Fatma Awadi has. She traveled to the United States so she can learn more about tennis, not only like on a mature level, but also like in professional level.
Yeah, and honestly, I really admire her role as a coach and especially trying to get girls into this sport, right?
Exactly.
Because for girls, the options to pick sports is kind of limited, you know, as opposed to men.
Man, of course.
So seeing her role and seeing her passion, seeing her energy and trying to bring the sport into this generation of, you know, athletes is so admirable.
Other thing that I have loved about the conversation with Fatma Awadi, tennis coach, that she mentioned whenever there's like a hard time or whenever you fall, think about the clear intentions. And she mentioned that one of the clear intentions she has is the joy that she's gonna see in front of her trainees
Yeah.
and how they're gonna give her like the motivation and dedication to keep showing on time and also like delivering a great quality training.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the heartwarming answers in this episode was when she said that her proudest moment was working with, you know, disadvantaged children, right? That was so, I would say, marvelous and so encouraging.
And that show how Kuwaiti women, they are very responsible, they are very creative, and they have a great sense of leadership. With that, we conclude our show for today, and I hope you stay motivated and work on your passion.